Well, hello and welcome to the Intuitive Messenger channel, the interview series. And I am so excited tonight, whenever you're watching this, to introduce you, if you don't already know, my dear, dear friend, Keri Nola. Hello, Keri. How are you?
Hey, Mitchell. I'm great. How are you?
I'm well. So a lot of times when I do these interview series, it's with people I know very well. But you are probably one of the ones I know the best that I've ever done an interview with. So I'll try not to giggle and laugh and won't do too many inside jokes. But so I'm so excited to have you here because I'm going to be honest with you and with those watching that I received your messages from Shadow Oracle cards a while back, but it has been a very busy year for me in the holiday season. And they've been sitting on my desk since I got them from you. I'm like, I've looked at them, I've used them personally, I haven't used them with clients yet, but the reason I want to do this video is to force myself to know more about them and then to make them one of my monthly special spreads and use them for clients. So this is the little booklet that comes with your deck. And this is the back of the card. We'll show more of the cards later. But so Keri, tell us who you are first. So tell everybody who you are. Who's Keri Nola?
Who am I? So many ways to answer that question. Which part of me should I let speak? So,
I would love to. I would love the people watching to know where you came from and where you got to right now. That's a cool story too.
Absolutely. Well, I used to hide behind really fancy credentials and lots of letters behind my name. So my beginning was as a licensed psychotherapist, very traditionally trained, hiding behind lots of letters and in my tiny little office, supporting one person at a time. And that work was sacred and important, and I still do it very part-time. But I have felt a calling to grow beyond and into more versions of myself and a deeper essence of who I am. I've come to realize that I'm an awakening healer. I'm a soul on the journey. I've always been fascinated with the mind and the body and the soul and how it all works and what the hell we're all doing here. And, I feel like I've grown into my intuitive self, and I now call myself an energetic visionary, a writer, a teacher, a sacred space holder, a medicine woman. I mean, there's so many different labels.
I love it. And
right?
how many books do you have out now? I know you've got.
I have 2 books.
Yes.
2 books, and now my first physical product, the Oracle deck, and more magical stuff. I know we'll get to it, but so those are some of my roles and titles.
So tell us what you do. Like right now, what might we catch you doing on a weekly, monthly basis? And we'll get to more of what they can get from you at the end. But what do you, they'll get the gist of that now. So what do you do right now on a weekly and monthly basis?
Sure. Well, I've created my dream lifestyle. I work from home about 4 days a week, and I'm in my healing center 1 day a week. And my primary role right now is supporting other spiritual entrepreneurs and healers in really bringing their gifts to life. So I've created the Sacred Soul Circle for healing entrepreneurs, and I really walk and mentor other healers in not necessarily the practicalities of what it takes to bring a healing practice to life, but like what keeps us from doing that? What parts of us are we afraid of being seen and heard and persecuted and prosecuted, and what other things we've experienced that would keep us from doing our life's work? And it's so special to me. It's such a gift. It never feels like work. I get excited to wake up every day and fulfill this divine role.
Cool. So let's get to the part that I've been waiting for. So Messages from Shadow is your Oracle deck. So tell us about that. Tell us where it came from, how it was birthed, if you
yes,
will.
very messily.
I think you use that word in your book.
I do. It was a very messy birth process, as births often are. And, about probably 2 years ago now, I felt like I was looking to different Oracle resources. And while they reflected me back to parts of myself, I kept feeling like there was something missing. Like there was a part of myself that wanted to be seen and heard, but like I couldn't find her in the decks that I was using. And so I kept asking Spirit, like, show me, what is it that I'm missing? Like, I get that I'm on a divine path. I get that everything's working out, but like my human self, I want more than that. Like, I want to know what I'm what's in my blind spot? What am I missing? And I wasn't finding it out there in these different resources. So in meditation one day I heard, that's because you're supposed to bring it. And I said, bring what? What do you mean?
Okay,
I'm a,
first, who told you that? This is the part I know, because I know who told you that. But who was telling you
exactly.
who told you you need to bring it?
So my guides, my counsel, those that are walking with me, whispered in my ear and said, "Hey, get with it.
I love
It's
it.
like you're supposed to bring it. Stop playing small. Stop pretending like you don't know, and get about the business of doing what you're here to do."
Uh,
I never thought of myself as an oracle card creator. I mean, my intuitive self is present in the work that I do when I'm supporting people, but thinking of myself in that role, it just wasn't something I had entertained before. So they were patient with me, my guides. They let me kind of hang out there in the human fear-based ville for a period of time. And then one day in meditation, I just literally downloaded
wow.
33 shadow energies. They just were like, boom, right? Here they are. And the cards, actually, they're now 34 energetically activated shadow energies that Mitchell, oh God, they're gorgeous. It doesn't
I
matter how
know.
many times I see them. They just pop at me every
And
time.
I love that you just said they're gorgeous. And the reason I love
Mm.
that you said that, even though they're your product, you know where they came from. It's like
Yeah.
it's like when I can brag about somebody else because I know that person, I know where it came from, and it's easy to brag about something you feel so powerful about. I think it's important for us to brag and be proud of things that we call our own. But I also know from our conversations that these were a gift to you, correct?
They sure were.
And it's
They're not mine. They came through me, but they're not me.
uh,
And I feel like I was just on a call the other night doing a group reading, and I got just moved to tears, saying like, this is like watching my child perform on a stage doing something that they love.
wow.
Like, I am so proud of them every time, I experience doing a reading myself or hear other people experiencing them. It's just magical what I allowed myself to open up to come through, because they're multidimensional as a tool. They pick up the energy of the moment based on the person's vibration who is asking for the message. So, you notice different things. Everybody has a different experience. And I still don't understand it with my human mind all the time, but I see that it's happening, and I just try to surrender and go, yeah, I don't get it, but I get it at the same time.
Cool. So tell me a snippet about like what's in your book that comes with the deck. What can they find there?
Sure. So the book has about the cards, about my process of bringing them through, and what my intention is for them, and also a lot of reminders that the book isn't to tell you anything that you don't already know. It is to wake you up to what is inside of you,
Mm.
because I think that's the other thing about the process of using intuition and allowing others to do readings with you, for you, is that they're not to be used in a disempowering way. In my experience, they're to be used to remind us of what we already have inside. So there's also a write-up on every single card in the deck, and some spreads, how to use them, a couple of options, and each card also has a healing mantra, and they're also associated with the 7 major chakras. So there's a lot of magic in the booklet, and there's a lot of questions that invite you to go deeper within yourself, because I don't pretend to know what you need to know. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm tuned in, and sometimes I hear things, but no more than you could ever possibly hear and know about yourself, because
Yeah.
you're you.
Yeah. So tell us when it says messages from shadow. What is shadow? What does that mean? That's for me. That's like, oh, I'm about to grab the light worker, the shadow. What is it? What's the light worker's guide to? Oh, I can't remember the name of the book now. But anyway, it's like, what is the shadow in this deck? And what is that
Yeah.
all about? The shadow.
Yeah, for me, the shadow is our blind spot. It's the parts of us that we don't have conscious awareness of, that we have tucked away because we feel like they're not acceptable, lovable, appropriate. They're these just aspects of ourself, patterns that in our collective consciousness we've begun to shun and to hide away in the closets. But they're also the parts of us that have healing gifts. They have
Mm,
awarenesses. And if we try to live without them, we're not living as whole beings. We're living as half of ourselves because we are the yin and the yang. We are the light and the dark. So it's giving us access to dark parts of ourselves. Not necessarily, and I don't, when I say dark, I don't mean bad or good, or I just mean there's light expressions of energy and there's shadow expressions of energy.
mm.
And we have a right to know where we're operating from, because these are the things that keep us stuck and leave us with a lack of clarity or feeling confused when we're trying to make decisions in our business, in our work, and also with things going on in the physical body, because these energies manifest physically too.
Cool. So my next question was going to be like how they work. So, is it okay if I pull a card and ask you about it?
Of course, let's do it.
So say I woke up tomorrow morning and I come up to your deck and I grab a card. I'm just randomly pulling one, and I pull, and I pull this one, anger.
Aha.
So what might this be telling me, the anger card, about my day tomorrow? If this was like a daily draw.
Sure. So we might look at the shadow of anger. How what you got going on, Mitch?
Well, I'll tell you after you tell me.
Okay, perfect. So
it's,
the
it's
shadow
it's
of
perfect.
I love it. The shadow of anger. Well, first of all, it clears in the heart chakra. It's really about opening ourselves, because you'll notice it's a green color, and it also has yellow. So this is about the heart and our power. And if are we misusing our power, or are we perceiving someone else to be misusing their power in our direction? And, anger really lets us know there's an opportunity to set a boundary, to be aware of where we start and others stop, and to see if there's a way we can take care of ourselves that we haven't necessarily been doing that. And
Mm,
anger, I think it gets a bad rap. It's like you're not supposed to be mad, or, we see shadow expressions of anger, which are people not owning their anger and taking it out on others in violence, perhaps, or
mm.
violence towards ourselves. But anger is a healthy and necessary human emotion when we can say, hey, I'm angry. And what is that signaling me to do in terms of setting a boundary, saying yes, saying no, not abandoning myself in some of these ways?
Cool. Yeah. So this morning in my meditation, I set a very powerful intention to go into my corporate day job
Mm-hmm.
and like take a year step back, because I allowed a lot of pessimistic, negative kind of energy to flow around who I was. And some people that I work with, some leaders that I had to deal with. And today I went in and I was like, this was a good day. So for me to pull that again tomorrow, it's absolutely a reminder to like you just said, own my anger,
Yep.
and then use it in a more appropriate way that would benefit all, the facility I work in, the company and things like that. So it's kind of funny that it would come up. Plus, green's one of my favorite colors in dealing with the heart. It's interesting that it is a green and a heart related one, because you wouldn't think anger would come out of the heart.
That's it. I know. And that's what the guides, it was one of the ways my ego came up and was like, but no, here's the other interesting thing about these cards, you guys. Me and one of my friends who's an intuitive artist co-channeled these images for the cards together. And we were trying to create the images to match the energies. And Spirit was like, create 33 images and we'll match them for you. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
what? So we had literally the images and the energies, the words for the energies, and we picked an image, we picked a word, and Spirit said, go with it. So when the chakras weren't really matching up, like I would think anger is a root emotion. I expected that to be red. And
Yeah.
they said the ways that the energy heals, we gave you the energy of where it heals, not where it originates.
Ah, beautiful.
So that's what they said. And they're telling me to read the healing mantra for this card. Some of you may be called
Perfect.
to work with it. So the healing mantra for the anger shadow is, I am worthy of setting boundaries that honor me with love.
Ah, beautiful. So there's a mantra per card.
Every card has a healing
Beautiful.
mantra that you can work with. Yep.
So let me ask you kind of two questions that will put you on the spot. And I know you well enough that I think you're like me in this sense that we can look at things very objectively and from a very high level. So did you see a lot of the same card or cards coming up for last year?
Hmm.
And then my next question will be, what cards might be coming up for this new coming year? So what did you see like for last year? What were some of the echoing or repeating patterns or cards that you might have seen come up for last year, like for this, for the globe, for the world, especially the USA?
Absolutely. There's actually a collective card in the deck, and it's considered a neutral card. So when you pull it, you can look at the collective consciousness and the shadow of the collective. So I'll tell you, the one that came up over and over for 2016 was victim mentality. The
Wow.
ways, yep, the ways that we have been believing that we're victims of other people, of the collective, and really the opportunity to stand in our power, which is interestingly the card that's really presenting itself for 2017. You know, the frequency of 2017 is new beginnings. It's the year of actualization. And in order to actualize our new beginning, we really need to be conscious of how we're standing in our power or we're abandoning our power. So those two energies really dance well together when we rise above the energy of, we own our shadow of victim mentality, and we remember that we have chosen and given permission for all that we're experiencing, even when that doesn't seem popular or likely. It really allows us to stand in our power. Yep, that's the collective
Okay, for
card.
collective.
So when you pull that, it's a neutral card. So if you were to pull it by itself, the booklet would guide you to pull another card to find out what shadow pattern is manifesting in the collective. This can be the collective consciousness, like society as a whole, but it could also be the collective, like your collective family, your work organization, and so forth. And the victim mentality shadow, if you notice, you might assume that this would be in another chakra energy, but this is really clearing in the third eye and in the crown, because this is when we remember to see through the illusion of our victimness, and we tune into our divine knowing that all is in perfect order and we are choosers of our experience, even when we're born into physical form and we forget that we
Wow.
are in fact giving permission for this
Yeah,
experience.
beautiful. So I was looking for cards and I might have missed it because I think you said it. So what are you seeing for the new year?
The power, the shadow of power, and how we navigate our own power, how we minimize our power or deny it, and also how we overuse or abuse our power. We're seeing that energy being brought to light in our leadership in the US in particular, and we're having an opportunity to see how we are responding to the governmental leadership and the changing of guard, and how that's a reflection of our own inner relationship to our power. And are we overusing it or underusing it? And how can we get back into balanced relationship with our power?
Cool, very nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
it's funny because I saw so many people posting about, oh my gosh, more than ever, good riddance 2016. And in one of my daily videos I said, 2016 for me, this is what I saw 2016 like. Imagine you're a baby in your mom's womb. You're sitting there and you're whole and you're healthy and you're happy. And then all of a sudden, people start screaming and you hear this this breathing, and then the walls start getting cramped and pushy, and then your bottom drops out and the water and the world you know are gone, and then you're thrust out into this cold world and cut from what you've known. I said, that sounds like 2016 to a lot of people. So was it a bad, awful year? If you consider birth a bad,
Mhm.
awful thing. But, so for me then, 2017, the image was, we're going to learn how to crawl. We're going to learn
Mhm.
how to suck from our mother's teat. We're going to learn how to finally walk. So it's almost like we're going to learn a lot of stuff because it's
Yeah.
like we're thrown into a new environment all of a sudden. And that's what's gotten me through a lot of the stuff when I see the Facebook and the news and the stuff. And I know right as we're taping this,
Mhm.
I think Obama's giving his farewell speech, and I think
Yeah.
tomorrow Trump is giving one of his first acceptance speeches. So it will be an interesting energetic year to see what happens. And I'm optimistically excited to see what this new world I'm going to learn to walk and crawl and get nourished is going to be like. So So
Yeah.
yeah, so very interesting. So
Yeah.
so tell us all, because we're getting close to the end here. Tell us all what's next for you. I know there's something exciting, but I want you to share. So what's going on with the cards?
Yes, these babies are coming in app form on iTunes platform and Android. So
Woohoo!
we are just finalizing it. My app development team has been doing a great job. We're working out a few last minute kinks, and then this puppy should go live by the end of January, beginning of February. I didn't want to launch her during Mercury retrograde. I thought a new product and technology, just not the
Yep.
best time. So now that we've got all the major planets direct, I feel like we've got a lot of support for birthing new things. So stay tuned for the Messages from Shadow app so she can be with you no matter where you are.
Messages from Shadow app, Android and iTunes. So
iTunes.
if you're, because this video might be released before the app comes out, so keep checking back, but definitely by Valentine's Day, right?
I imagine so.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So now, how can they find you? What you got going on? What can they take advantage of? How can they connect more with you and who you are? Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Oh, all that stuff. Yes. You can search my name on any of those platforms and I should pop up. So another exciting thing, the cards, by the way, if you want to look at the card deck, I have a free reading on my website. You can go to messagesfromshadow.com and download a free reading and see inside the deck a little bit more if you want to play with that. And my other baby is called Galactic Vibrations. And this is a business I have with my soul brother. I know you know Lloyd, Mitch. And it's a podcast where we do weekly cosmic forecasts, bringing through.
We'll make sure all the links are here. So we'll make sure all the links are there. So they'll be able to see all the links in the YouTube channel messages.
Okay, perfect. And so galacticvibrations.com is our podcast. That's on iTunes. And each month, the Galactic Vibrations store launches a new energetically activated product to support your healing and awakening. So I think I'm wearing it. I don't know if you guys can see, but this month we've got our amethyst hexagonal column necklace. So it'll be crystals. It'll be, I don't want to give away too many of the secrets because we just launched this year. So, lots of different options and ways to dance with energy and to wake up. I think that's what this year is all about, waking up to our truth. And
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you. We'll make sure all the links are in the body of the YouTube channel messages. When we post them, we'll make sure we get as many of those links there for you. That way you can just easily click and find her and like and share and tweet and follow and purchase and support in any way that you feel led to do this. So Keri Nola, thank you so very much. My spiritual sister from another mother. I was trying to think before. We've probably known each other about maybe 12 years now. No, has it been? I'm trying to remember. When was it?
Maybe eight.
8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
So I think that was about it because I know I was dating Fabian at the time.
You were.
So cool. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, everybody watching, thank you so much. Check out all her links and everything, and namaste for 2017.
Bye, guys.